What bothers us creative people the most about facing the uncertainty caused by the pandemic? The financial impact? Weren't we impacted before the pandemic too? That means some of us are hit even harder. What if one cannot afford to rent a space to live or work at anymore? Are they going to look for new roommates? Are they going to move back with their family? What if their family is not living in Calgary? What if their family cannot afford to have them back? What if they cannot pay for their student loans anymore? What if they get infected by COVID-19? All the what ifs. Our reality has changed to a certain degree, and that is challenging for us to embrace. As creative professionals, we have always been living in uncertainty. But we thought we knew what was happening, because our reality more or less was reflecting our pursuits. I'm Tara Vahab. I'm an artist who mainly creates and produces paintings, sculptures and installations out of newspaper and videos. I'm also founder of Louder Society, a non-profit organization that enhances health through art and creativity. In a sense, I'm a high-performance and health and wellness enthusiast. I have done an extensive research on human psychology and the ways practicing any form of art and creativity can enhance our health. I have to also mention that I spent past 5 years dealing with personal health and life crisis. So here are some of my recommendations for embracing our current times. Increase your self-care and compassion. You are what you think, what you eat, and what you do. Bring your focus back to yourself. I know it is extremely difficult to not worry, especially when health issues of yourself or your loved ones are overlapping with financial well-being, as they are often interrelated. It becomes essential to gain a peace of mind for only a few minutes a day. This all goes back to your physical, mental, and emotional health. Try to cultivate a healthy diet in general. Definitely cut back on sugar, soft drinks, and too much processed food. Have a routine physical activity of a minimum of a 5-minute walk or dance. Even if you're not a good dancer and dancing makes you feel silly, it is okay to get silly for your own well-being. I can assure you that after the first dance by yourself, you're going to feel much better and your mind is going to work much sharper. You need to gain resilience to move forward and get through this time. Get enough sleep and rest. It is super easy to get overwhelmed, burnt out, or depressed when we are facing extra uncertainty. Unknowingly, we might even deal with a panic attack. If this happens, bring your focus back to your senses. Name something that you can see, hear, taste, touch, and smell immediately. When we are overwhelmed, our decision-making abilities get affected, and remaining organized becomes more difficult. So, take a deep breath and meditate. Take a few minutes every day to just concentrate on your breathing. Try to focus only on tasks that need to be done and accomplished today. This entire project started with tying just one knot, so do not overwhelm yourself. We will be dealing with lots of emotions, so talk to yourself. It is absolutely okay. In fact, make writing in your journal a habit. Keep writing about how you're feeling and ask yourself, why do you think you feel this way? If you like singing, try to sing about it.
Why can't I find the meaning in this? Keep counting days of feeling lifeless. I just don't want to be success. Washing hands, wearing masks for every day and every task. And sanitize, keep sanitize and sanitize. Life right now is so dark, and I know it sucks, but it will be alright, alright.
We need to be physically, mentally, and emotionally stronger during these times. Gain a better perspective by calibrating your emotions. How do you do that? Consider 5 degrees below and above your current situation or feelings. How worse could it be and how better could it become? Then imagine different scenarios corresponding to each level. For example, you can feel grateful that you or your loved ones are not suffering in a hospital right now. You can then think about 1 degree below that where you are hospitalized, but there are not enough doctors or nurses to tend you. You can then feel grateful that even if you or your loved ones would be hospitalized at the moment, you will be receiving the help that you need. Then think about positive situations. For example, you can imagine that you are feeling healthy and at peace. Then think about feeling even better. Let's say because you've been offered an exciting commission or job. Then you can think of feeling even better. Let's say now that you have been offered this exciting opportunity, what are your plans and thoughts? What steps are you going to take to move forward? By the time you go through each scenario, you will feel much better about where you're at now. Stay away from drama, both online and offline, and continue the activities that bring you joy. After all, the life of most creative people is spent in isolation and creation anyway. As long as you can remain focused and purposeful, you can continue your work. You might even find new inspiration from this pandemic, like I did. Ta-da! Remember, we are not alone in this. I have an analogy for feeling safe during difficult and uncertain times. I see ourselves as being like a baby inside a mother's womb. While the baby might not be aware of its own existence at the time, the mother is fully aware of it because they are connected through the umbilical cord, and the mother is nurturing the baby regardless of baby's knowledge of her. I feel we are always that baby, and most of the time, and especially during most difficult and stressful times, we are very much unaware of this connection between us and our mother as a higher power. Now, whatever you want to label or view it as, whether being God, collective consciousness, higher self, universe, and so many other names. By the way, how much do you know about the polar bear? Polar bears are known for their resilience and adaptive attitude. They can swim thousands of kilometers in very cold waters and survive without any food for over 200 days. Polar bear cubs are taught their mother's lessons only once, and in order for them to survive, they have to remember those lessons for the rest of their lives. In Inuit mythology, polar bears symbolize courage, endurance, acceptance, and surrender. I think we should all cultivate polar bear spirit. Last but not least, this pandemic has had a global effect. If anything, it brought us a little closer to each other. I personally feel there is a more sense of unity and empathy for one another because this virus does not discriminate. Connecting with other creative individuals who are like-hearted and like-minded can reduce the effects and trauma caused by this pandemic significantly. So stay connected, and this shall pass too. Feel free to contact EAR. They have gathered information for various helpful resources for artists. And also feel free to contact me because I have made this part of my mission to make a community of us. Thank you so very much for watching. We hope that you found this video helpful.
Some people are being careless. They think it's not so serious. It's just a virus. We will survive this. And they're not washing hands or wearing masks on holidays or their wedding dance. They socialize, they keep socialize and socialize.
Have you traveled outside of Canada in the past 20 days? Are you experiencing any of the following symptoms? Runny nose, dry coughing, fever, fatigue, shortness of breath.